What if the yogurt you eat every day could actually lower your A1C by up to 8%? Or if the milk in your coffee could support insulin production and protect your heart without spiking your blood sugar? And what if the cheese you love could keep you fuller longer, stabilize glucose after meals, and even protect your nerves? Sounds impossible, right? But science tells a different story. In this video, we're uncovering the surprising truth about yogurt, milk, and cheese for diabetes. What the research really says, the best choices to make, the myths you need to stop believing, and the simple recipes that can turn these everyday foods into powerful allies for managing type 1, type 2, and prediabetes. Stay with me because by the end, you'll know exactly how to enjoy these foods the smart way, without fear, guilt, or confusion. Let's dive in. First, on-list yogurt. Yogurt is one of those foods that often sparks confusion in the diabetes community. Some say it's a hidden sugar bomb, while others swear by its gut-healing, blood sugar balancing powers. So what's the real story? The truth is, when you choose the right kind of yogurt and understand how it works in your body, it can become a powerful ally in your diabetes management plan. Let's break it down fully so you can make informed choices for your health. First, the basics. A standard 6-ounce, 170-gram, serving of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt provides about 100 calories, 10 grams of high-quality protein, 4 grams of carbohydrates, mostly from natural milk sugars called lactose, 5 grams of fat, including about 3 grams of saturated fat, and no added sugar or fiber. This small but mighty cup also delivers roughly 20% of your daily value for calcium, 15% for vitamin B12, 10% for phosphorus, and about 6% for potassium. But what makes yogurt truly special for diabetes is its probiotic content. These are live beneficial bacteria that support your gut health. Your gut is more than just a place for digestion. It's a critical control center for blood sugar, hormones, and inflammation. A healthy gut microbiome has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, reduce fasting blood sugar levels by 5 to 8%, and even lower markers of inflammation that contribute to diabetes complications like heart disease, nerve damage, and kidney dysfunction. Yogurt's glycemic index varies depending on the type, but plain Greek yogurt generally has a low GI of around 11 to 20, while regular plain yogurt sits slightly higher at around 35. The glycemic load is also low, roughly 1 to 2 per serving for Greek yogurt, which means it has a minimal impact on blood sugar levels when eaten in moderation. This is because yogurt's protein content helps slow digestion and the release of glucose into the bloodstream, creating a more stable post-meal blood sugar curve. In fact, one research study found that people who consumed yogurt regularly had up to a 15% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who rarely ate it. The same study showed improvements in insulin sensitivity and reductions in hemoglobin A1C, a key marker for long-term blood sugar control. But here's the catch. Not all yogurts are created equal. Flavored yogurts, especially fruit on the bottom or dessert-inspired varieties, can contain 15 to 25 grams of added sugar per serving, turning a health food into a blood sugar bomb. Always choose plain, unsweetened yogurt and add your own natural toppings like berries, nuts, or cinnamon. There's also a myth floating around that all dairy, including yogurt, increases inflammation in the body, but research actually suggests the opposite. Fermented dairy products like yogurt may lower markers of inflammation such as C-reactive protein and interleukin-6, which are linked to diabetic complications like heart disease, kidney damage, and nerve issues. Another common myth is that yogurt is just for digestion, but the reality is its probiotics, calcium, protein, and vitamin D content all work together to support insulin secretion, protect pancreatic beta cells, and improve metabolic health over time. Did you know that yogurt has been consumed by humans for over 7,000 years and was originally discovered by accident when milk stored in animal stomachs fermented naturally? That's right. Yogurt is one of the oldest fermented foods in the world, and it's been used in traditional diets for centuries to promote gut health and longevity. For people with type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or type 1 diabetes, incorporating yogurt into your diet can offer multiple benefits. The protein helps slow digestion and regulate appetite hormones like ghrelin, reducing cravings and supporting weight management. The calcium and vitamin D combination supports nerve function, insulin release, and bone health, while the probiotics help regulate gut bacteria, which has been shown to improve glucose control and reduce inflammation. Yogurt can also help manage digestive issues like bloating, gas, and constipation, which are common side effects of diabetes medications like metformin. Here's a simple, blood sugar-friendly recipe to make the most of yogurt. Combine 6 ounces of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt with half a cup of fresh blueberries, a tablespoon of chia seeds, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. This creates a nutrient-dense snack or breakfast that's low in sugar, high in fiber, and packed with antioxidants that support heart, nerve, and kidney health. One important precaution: while yogurt is generally well tolerated, some people with lactose intolerance may still experience bloating or digestive discomfort. If that's you, look for lactose-free Greek yogurt, which provides the same nutrients and probiotic benefits without the digestive issues. Another consideration: if you have kidney disease or are on a potassium or phosphorus-restricted diet, talk to your doctor or dietitian about how much yogurt is safe for you, as it does contribute these minerals. So whether you're adding it to your morning smoothie, enjoying it as a snack, or using it as a base for dressings and dips, plain unsweetened yogurt can be a powerful tool in your diabetes-friendly diet. By the way, where are you watching from today? Drop your country or city in the comments. I'd love to know where in the world you're tuning in from. Second on list, milk. Milk is one of the most debated foods in the diabetes world. Often misunderstood, sometimes feared, but rarely explored in its full complexity. So let's break it down once and for all. Can milk be a smart choice for people with type 1, type 2, or prediabetes? The answer is yes, but it depends entirely on the type of milk you choose, how much you drink, and how you fit it into your meals. An 8-ounce glass of whole milk contains about 150 calories, 8 grams of high-quality protein, 12 grams of carbohydrates, mostly lactose, the natural sugar found in milk, 8 grams of fat, including 5 grams of saturated fat, and no fiber. But there's more to this story. It also delivers around 25% of your daily value for calcium, 15% for vitamin D if fortified, 20% for vitamin B12, 10% for phosphorus, and 8% for potassium. Milk's protein is particularly special because it contains 2 key types: casein, which makes up about 80% and forms a gel in your stomach that slows digestion, and whey, the remaining 20%, which digests faster and has been shown in research to improve insulin response after meals. This unique blend of proteins helps keep blood sugar stable, especially when milk is paired with fiber-rich or high-carb foods like oats or whole grain toast. Milk's glycemic index is around 31, which is considered low, and the glycemic load for an 8-ounce serving is about 4.5, making it a gentle choice for blood sugar control when consumed in moderation. One fascinating study found that regular dairy intake, including milk, was linked to up to a 12% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes and a 10% improvement in insulin sensitivity over time. This is likely because the calcium, vitamin D, and bioactive peptides in milk work together to support insulin production, reduce inflammation, and protect the delicate beta cells in your pancreas, the very cells responsible for making insulin. Milk also provides a natural source of potassium, which supports heart health by helping to lower blood pressure, and phosphorus, which is essential for strong bones and cellular energy. But here's where it gets tricky. Not all milks are created equal, and this is where many people go wrong. The best milks for diabetics are unsweetened low-fat, 1%, or reduced-fat, 2% milk, which strike the ideal balance between healthy fats and minimal impact on blood sugar. Lactose-free milk is an excellent choice for those with lactose intolerance, offering the same nutrients without the digestive discomfort. For plant-based alternatives, unsweetened almond milk is a smart option at only 30 to 40 calories per cup and 1 to 2 grams of carbs, though it's low in protein, so it's best to pair it with a protein source. Unsweetened soy milk is closer to cow's milk in protein content, with around 7 grams per cup, and it's usually fortified with calcium and vitamin D, making it a strong alternative. Unsweetened pea milk, like Ripple, is another impressive option, offering 8 grams of protein and 450 milligrams of calcium per cup, and it's gaining popularity as a nutritious, low-carb milk choice for diabetics. Sweetened milks, flavored varieties like chocolate or vanilla milk, and high-sugar plant-based options such as oat milk and rice milk can contain 15 to 25 grams of sugar per cup and can spike blood sugar significantly. These are best avoided for people managing diabetes. A common myth is that milk causes inflammation and worsens insulin resistance. But in reality, research shows that dairy, including milk, may actually reduce inflammation markers like C-reactive protein in people with type 2 diabetes. Another myth is that milk is inherently fattening. Yet studies suggest that moderate dairy intake can help with weight management by increasing satiety and supporting fat metabolism. Here's a simple diabetic-friendly recipe to make milk work for you. Combine 8 ounces of unsweetened low-fat milk with 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a pinch of black pepper to enhance turmeric absorption, and a few drops of vanilla extract. Warm gently in a small saucepan until fragrant, and enjoy this golden milk latte as a comforting, anti-inflammatory evening drink that supports insulin sensitivity and helps calm the body for restful sleep. It's important to note a few precautions. If you have advanced kidney disease or are on a potassium or phosphorus-restricted diet, speak with your doctor before increasing milk intake, as excess minerals from dairy can build up in the bloodstream. Also, if you're taking certain medications like some antibiotics or blood pressure pills, ask your pharmacist about possible interactions. Milk can sometimes interfere with drug absorption if taken at the same time. Did you know that humans have been drinking milk for over 10,000 years, and that the ability to digest lactose as adults is a genetic adaptation found in only about 1/3 of the global population? That's why listening to your body's response to milk is so important. If you experience bloating, gas, or fatigue after drinking milk, it may not be the best choice for you. So whether you're adding it to your morning coffee, blending it into a smoothie, or using it as a base for oatmeal, milk can absolutely be part of a healthy, diabetes-friendly diet when chosen wisely. Third on list, cheese. Cheese often gets a bad reputation in the diabetes world. Some say it's too high in saturated fat. Others worry it can spike cholesterol, and some avoid it altogether out of fear. But what if I told you that when chosen wisely and enjoyed in the right portions, cheese can actually be a nutrient-dense, satisfying addition to a diabetes-friendly diet? Let's take a deep dive into the science, the myths, and the best ways to enjoy cheese without compromising your blood sugar control. Let's start with the basics. A 1-ounce serving of cheddar cheese, about the size of a pair of dice, contains around 115 calories, 7 grams of protein, 9 grams of fat, with 6 grams of saturated fat, less than 1 gram of carbohydrates, and no fiber. It also delivers about 20% of your daily value for calcium, 12% for vitamin A, 10% for phosphorus, and 5% for vitamin B12. Other cheeses vary slightly in their profiles. Mozzarella is a bit lower in fat. Cottage cheese is higher in protein, and feta, or goat cheese, tends to be tangier and slightly lower in calories per ounce. The key takeaway here is that cheese is naturally low in carbohydrates and has a glycemic index close to 0, meaning it won't directly raise your blood sugar levels. In fact, pairing a small portion of cheese with a carbohydrate-containing food, like whole grain crackers or fruit, can actually help blunt the post-meal blood sugar spike by slowing down digestion. But the benefits of cheese go far beyond just blood sugar impact. The protein in cheese helps stimulate the release of hormones like peptide YY and GLP-1, both of which support feelings of fullness, regulate appetite, and improve insulin response. Calcium in cheese plays a crucial role in nerve signaling, muscle function, and the secretion of insulin from the pancreas, while phosphorus helps build strong bones and supports kidney function. Vitamin B12 is essential for nerve health and red blood cell production, making cheese an easy way to boost your intake of this vital nutrient. Recent research has shown that moderate cheese consumption may even be linked to a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes, One study found up to a 12% reduction in risk when consumed as part of a balanced diet. However, there are myths that need to be addressed. One common misconception is that all saturated fat is harmful for diabetics, but the reality is more nuanced. While it's true that excessive saturated fat intake, especially from processed meats and fried foods, can increase the risk of heart disease, moderate amounts of saturated fat from whole, minimally processed sources like cheese have not been consistently linked to worse cardiovascular outcomes. In fact, some studies suggest that dairy fat may have a neutral or even slightly protective effect on heart health, likely due to its unique fatty acid profile and bioactive compounds like vitamin K2. Another myth is that cheese causes inflammation, but the research here is mixed. Some studies show that certain compounds in cheese, like butyrate and sphingolipids, may actually help reduce inflammation markers in people with metabolic conditions, including type 2 diabetes. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that cheese has been a part of human diets for over 7,500 years and was likely discovered accidentally when early humans stored milk in animal stomachs, where natural enzymes turned it into curds and whey? Cheese isn't just a modern comfort food, it's a time-tested way of preserving nutrients and adding flavor to meals. For diabetics, the best choices are cheeses that are lower in saturated fat and sodium, while still providing protein and calcium. Great options include part-skim mozzarella, which offers about 7 grams of protein per ounce and less saturated fat than cheddar, and cottage cheese, which provides an impressive 14 grams of protein and just 2.5 grams of fat per half-cup serving. Feta and goat cheese are also smart picks, as they tend to be lower in fat per serving and can add bold flavor to dishes without needing large amounts. A simple recipe to make cheese work for you? Try a diabetes-friendly caprese salad. Slice 1 ounce of part-skim mozzarella, layer it with fresh tomato slices, sprinkle with basil, and drizzle with a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil and balsamic vinegar. This dish combines healthy fats, antioxidants, and protein to create a balanced snack or light meal that supports blood sugar control. One important precaution: while cheese can be a healthy addition for many diabetics, portion control is key. Excessive intake can lead to higher calorie consumption, and for those with high cholesterol or existing heart conditions, it's wise to limit saturated fat intake to recommended levels and focus on balance. If you have kidney issues, be mindful of the phosphorus and sodium content in cheese, as these minerals can accumulate in the body and may need to be limited. Final thought. When it comes to managing diabetes, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by conflicting advice, especially when it comes to dairy. But here's the truth. Yogurt, milk, and cheese aren't just safe to eat. They can actually become powerful tools in your diabetes management plan when chosen and enjoyed the right way. Yogurt, when plain and unsweetened, is packed with gut-friendly probiotics that can improve insulin sensitivity, lower A1C by up to 8%, and reduce inflammation linked to heart disease and nerve damage. Milk, when low-fat or lactose-free, delivers essential nutrients like calcium, vitamin D, and protein that support insulin production, stabilize blood sugar, and nourish your bones and heart. And cheese, it's not just a treat. It can help control post-meal glucose spikes, keep you feeling full longer, and even protect your nerves and metabolism when you stick to the healthiest types. So here's my question for you. What's your go-to dairy food, and how do you use it in your meals? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more easy-to-understand, science-backed videos that make managing type 1, type 2, and prediabetes simpler and more effective. Together, we're turning confusion into clarity, one meal at a time. Stay healthy, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.